How you doing, folks? I'm Gary and this is the Culted Drummer. Welcome back to the dining room, folks, and we're going to hit another wee episode of Dining Room Drams. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, probably longer since we've done Dining Room Drams. Whilst the dining room's been sort of getting decorated, but it's nice to be back in here. As we used to do with Dining Room Drams, I grabbed some of the samples and miniatures that I've got lying around in here. And tonight's no real exception. What I've gone for is a sample of Glen Scotia's seasonal release 2022, sent through to me by the ambassador over there at Glen Scotia, Gary Mills. So thank you very much for that, Gary. Get some of it in the glass. As you can see, I've actually got the full-size bottles sat here on the table as well, so we'll use that to get some of the details of it on the dram. Glen Scotia, we've covered a couple of them before, the Victoriana, Campbelltown Harbour and things like that. So Glen Scotia, Campbelltown Distillery down on that peninsula off on the west coast of Scotland. Particular one we've got here is a seasonal release. Glen Scotia do this occasionally. They'll release a bottle, as this one says, 2022, so it's just released for that year. It's a limited edition release, and they've probably done something a little bit special with the finishing on it. So they're only out for a short period of time, disappears, and then next year you'll get another one with a different finish. This particular one has been given a sherry cask finish, so as you can see on the bottle, it's 12 years old. And the last year of that 12 years it's gone into sherry casks, Amanto Lido sherry casks, so it's had that year in there. It's been released at cask strength 53 point something, 53.3 is the cask strength in it. It is non-chill filtered and it is natural coloured. Let's have a wee sniff. Straight off, I'm getting nuts, some sort of nut on it, like hazelnut sort of taste there. Smell. It's got a thick sort of nose to it, if that makes sense. It feels deep. It's only been given that year in the sherry, but the sherry seems to, for my nose, there's dark fruits, a plumminess about it. Yeah, it's got that kind of Christmas cake fruitiness about it in there. Some nice nose. There's no burn from that 53.3% ABV. It's quite nice on the nose. Get a taste. Nice mouthfeel. There is a tingliness on the tongue, spiciness. Strangely, it's almost like drinking a can of Coke, that kind of tongue tingliness. Not the taste, just that sort of sensation, a wee tingle on the tongue. The higher ABV, there's no burn, no nastiness about that. There is nuts again, there's a nice sort of nuttiness, oakiness, mustiness, sort of coastal influence, possibly a sort of a salty, musty, Campbelltown funk. I quite often find a bit of a cheesiness about Campbelltown. I'm not really sure what they are overseas, but in the UK you get a brand of crisps, potato chip type things, snacks, and they're called quavers, and they're kind of melt in your mouth, cheesiness, and for me there's almost sort of quaver cheesiness about Campbelltown. It's quite a nice thing. I like that snack, so I find that in this, and I'm getting it here. Yeah, I've got that wee tingle on the back hole. It's quite a nice finish. I'm kind of just letting the finish go there. It's a long finish, and it's a wee bit of spice on that finish. It's nice. The fruitiness is coming through as well. Again, I'm getting that wee bursty, tingly thing on my tongue here. It's not something I've really experienced much within whiskey, that kind of I don't know. I can't explain it. The only way I can explain it is like drinking a can of pop, soda pop, whatever you want to call it, and you'll get that little burst of bubbles, and it's kind of giving me that across my tongue, and it's nice. That is that's really quite a nice dram. Now, as I said to you, it's a seasonal release, limited. This is a limited edition. Limited edition. It only comes out for that year. Next year it'll come out, 2023, and they'll have changed the finish on it in some shape, way, or form. So these retail at approximately £75. So what you're looking at is, with it being a limited release, £75. Probably this time next year you expect to pay a bit more for that, because it's limited and it's going to sell out. I don't know what the actual sort of outrun was on it. Doesn't have that kind of figures on it that I can see. No, there's nothing really there saying what size it is as a limited release, but there's one of these things. If it's a year dated, 2022, that they're going to release another one next year, and it's going to sort of overtake this one. So I would recommend, if you can get your hands on this as it is now for £75, it's well worth cracking into it. Cast strength, non-chill filtered, natural coloured, Glen Scotia, sort of sherry finish dram, and it's really quite cracking. It's lunch, guys. Cheers.